You ever notice how your mind starts racing the moment you decide to do better? It's like the moment you decide to move forward, the negative thoughts come to talk you right out of it. Before every breakthrough, there's usually a battle, not around you, but inside your mind. The enemy doesn't have to chain your hands if he can just control your thoughts. And he does it through one thing: lies. Lies that sound just like you. The hardest fight you ever face won't be against another person. It'll be against that voice in your head, the one that echoes every doubt the devil ever planted in your mind. I've heard that voice too, but today I'm going to help you shut that lie down and start believing the truth about who you really are. Listen, we've all heard those voices. You ain't the only one. But the trick is, just because you hear it doesn't mean you have to obey it. It doesn't have authority over you. Think about it. If a stranger walked up to you in Walmart and told you you'll never be anything, would you stop shopping and cry in aisle 7? No, you'd be like, man, if you don't get your crazy behind away from me. So why do you treat your own negative thoughts like it's the gospel? You gotta recognize that voice of doubt and choose not to obey it. Those negative thoughts in your head are just noise. They don't have power unless you give them power. They sound convincing because it uses your own voice, but that doesn't make them true. Most of the time, that's the inner critic in you trying to use old fears and false conclusions you picked up along the way. You've heard them for so long now you believe them. That repetition makes it feel like it's real. The more you hear a lie, the more it starts to feel true. That's why you gotta challenge every thought that tears you down. Don't just believe it, test it. Ask yourself, who told me that? Where did that come from? What does the word say? You'll realize most of those thoughts were never yours to begin with. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you if he can just distract you long enough to make you doubt yourself. Every time you agree with those lies that says you can't, you're not ready, you're too late, you hand over your authority. So what should you do? Replace the negative thought. You wouldn't tell your child or your husband or wife they're worthless or they're hopeless. No, you'd build them up. You'd remind them who they are. So why not talk to yourself that way? Most of us spend more time tearing ourselves down than anyone else ever could. We speak defeat over our own lives and then wonder why we feel drained. Words are seeds, and every seed you plant grows into something. That's why the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue. That's not poetry. That's a real principle. Your tongue builds the house your mind has to live in. And the more you speak it, the more your heart starts to believe it. When you declare who you are, you're not pretending, you're aligning. You're aligning with what God has already declared in His Word. God said you're fearfully and wonderfully made. He said you're more than a conqueror. You're reclaiming your authority from every voice that ever told you you're not enough. So speak life over yourself. Tell yourself, I am capable. I am chosen. I am loved. And I'm still becoming. Because when you start speaking truth, the lies lose volume. And the more you speak it, the more your heart starts to believe it. Most people don't realize action quiets the noise. Your peace starts when you act. The more you sit in your head, the louder those lies get. But the moment you act, you interrupt the cycle. The devil says you can't do that, and you respond by doing it anyway. That's how you train your mind to obey you, not fear. And when that doubt tries to come back, remind yourself, I don't have to believe every thought that comes in my mind. You get to choose which voice has authority in your life. So at the end of the day, you can't always stop the noise, but you can choose to protect your peace. My husband told me you can't stop the rain, but you can get an umbrella. And that's what truth does. It covers you when the lies start to pour. You might still hear the lies, but they no longer control you. And every time you choose truth over fear, your confidence grows, your peace deepens, and your purpose becomes clearer. You don't need to wait for the lies to stop. You need to confront them with truth. You don't silence lies by waiting for them to go away. You need to shut them down with truth. Don't sit quietly while those lies speak. You speak louder with truth. You silence them by speaking truth. And when you finally silence that lying voice, you'll start to hear the real one that says, you've still got time. You've still got purpose. And you've still got something to give. Hey friend, don't just play this once and move on. Let it sink in. Success doesn't come from what you do once. It comes from what you do over and over. It's about consistency. That's the power of habit. When you keep feeding your mind, things will start to shift in your life. So I challenge you to listen to this 3 times a day. Make this part of your routine. And when you finish your day, let me know in the comments. And if this helped you, share it, hit like, and subscribe. Let's keep growing together.